representing MMA Academy from Liverpool, Aaron
Like, obviously gutted, and then part of me was like, oh, is it true? And like slightly in denial, and then, you know, it was one of those things that was hard to take at first and hard to believe, I think, for everyone.
Aaron Abbey was born in Wrexham on the 7th of February 1990. He and his father John own and run Wrexham-based gym IPC, where Aaron teaches and trains mixed martial arts. When Aaron was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, he was against chemotherapy and the removal of his testicle. Aaron did not want anything to dismantle his MMA career, or the chances of having a child.
So I suppose the analogy you can use is that if you plant a brand new lawn, the last thing you want to throw on it is poison if you want it to grow. So the same with the mind is that if you've been given some information, why would you throw more poison on it by continuing to read that information? You would look for something to help it grow, something that is more positive. So you spend all your time trying to create the alternative environment. Adam's primary concern was to be a father. So the only options that were available through the NHS was not to be a father. So people would look at the situation and say, why did that person keep a cancer tumour on his body for 7 months? Well, that tumour was not cancer to him, it was his son. And he'd already named his son, he'd already seen himself playing with his son, he'd already seen himself and his girlfriend with his son. So actually that testicle was his son.
Growing up, I've always had that relationship with my dad, and I think I wanted to be a dad. So that was one of the reasons, like, I left it so long as well, and part of me was like, didn't want it removed so I could have the chance of being a dad. And in a way you felt like you were killing your kid by getting it removed without trying everything before. That's why I would try every natural remedy going. I'd research it, look at it, I'd try it. I'd try everything just first. I didn't want, like, take the easy option, the easy route out.
Have you had like any like sperm frozen or anything like that?
No, because there was nothing alive.
Oh.
When they tried. So they did try, but there was nothing alive because of the cancer. It was too far gone.
I was more bothered about him being here and his quality of life after the cancer, rather than, well, you know, what might happen. You know, we might not be able to have kids 5-10 years down the line, but, you know, a lot of people can't. You know, so that was in my mind, was that I'd rather him just get it all sorted. Yeah, we're unlucky, we've been unlucky, but lots of people are, and he's just got to, you know, push on. So.
Aaron has many important women in his life that have helped him through his cystic fibrosis and more recently his cancer battle and recovery. His girlfriend of 14 years, Hayley, has been with him throughout all of the struggles. His cystic fibrosis nurse, Jan, who has provided professional care and support throughout his cancer battle. And more recently, his friend and physiotherapist, Vicky, who has provided recovery treatment since his major operation.
Vicky's been great. Me and Vicky are similar, as in, we know what's the right thing to do, but we don't always do it when it comes to training. Like having me build up slowly, and I'm seeing the increments and the improvement that I'm making each week. Each session, and she also knows who I am, so when I'm like putting like a little bit extra weight on the bar, she's letting me do it sometimes, but not letting me go too much, because she knows that's going to keep me motivated and that's going to keep me happy.
He always looks on the bright side, no matter what the situation and what he's going through, and he's been through a lot, and inspirational wise is just, you know, that's probably not even the right word to describe him, because what's happened is just something that I don't think a lot of people would deal with, and then he's gone and just absolutely smashed it out of the ballpark. So he's doing fantastic. Again, he's always got that positive outlook, and he just seems to be excelling with his fitness and his rehabilitation side. So and he's enjoying it, and that's the most important thing, that he's feeling like he's getting something from it.
I've known Jan since I was 16, but really got to know her like the past couple of years, and it was when I had the cancer diagnosis, and I was like up in my head because I didn't really believe in chemotherapy at the time. I didn't want the treatment they'd given me. Part of me was like, oh, if they diagnosed me right, I've been diagnosed wrong before. And the cancer started getting worse. I remember like within, I think it was 2 weeks, it had tripled in size in my stomach. And I was like, no, still no chemo. And then Jan come to see me one day, and she come to my house and she basically said, like, whatever happens, I'll support you. So whether you decide to have chemo, I'll support you through it, and we'll do whatever we can to make sure your lungs are healthy. Or if you don't have chemo, I'll support like end of life treatment. And that day was the day really that I felt like I could really trust someone.
When I asked Aaron about yourself, he said that you were his guardian angel. What does it mean to you knowing that you can have like, that much of an influence on someone's life?
It's amazing, honestly, and I do get a bit emotional over that. But he's important to me in not just in my job, in my life. You know, we've built up that relationship, and I want him to live. So, despite him wanting to be a dad and wanting to be a cage racer, I want him to live.
At home, he's just as. You know, he's always been the same. Nothing ever changes with him. His attitude's always the same. Always positive. Yes, sometimes he needs someone there to sort of, when he's not being positive, he needs someone there to sort of say, come on now, pull yourself together, you know, you can do this and you can go there. And, you know, there's lots of things he's missed out on in the past 2 years, you know, friends, weddings, holidays, lots of different things, which is, you know, lots of opportunities for fights and big shows. And sometimes he needs someone there just to say, oh, come on, you know, you'll get back there, don't worry about it, you know, what's the worst that can happen? You know, what's the worst that's going to happen now?
Following his operations and chemotherapy, Aaron received the amazing news that all of his cancer had been removed.
It still feels like a little surreal that it's over, and I don't really feel like it's over yet until I get back doing what I was doing. You know, I'm still not like working properly, I'm still not training properly, I'm still not competing. So I still feel like I'm in that cancer phase because I'm not back to normal yet. And I think when I get back to normal, that's when it'll hit me that really it's over. Like at the moment, I still feel like almost like a little bit like a cancer patient because I'm still having to like do things that I wouldn't do if I didn't have the cancer. And I'm not able to do things I want to do if I didn't have the cancer. So it's for me still not over completely yet.
Aaron's story inspires many people.
I think Aaron AB is one of the most amazing people I have ever met. I think he's obviously one of my favourite patients. Yeah, I think
a major word that springs to mind is unique.
Everyone who knows him thinks that they're his friend because that's the way they are. You know, that's the way he comes across. He's such a likeable person, and he is an inspiration to lots of people.
That is basically what inspires people. The ability to lift people's spirits and allow them to believe that you can do what people tell you you can't do.
Aaron is always setting goals, and despite doctors' orders, wants to be fighting sooner rather than later.
I think I'm going to do it, yeah, and I think that like every week I get closer to it. I feel like, no, I definitely believe I'm going to do it. Injury prevention wise, I and like that was one of the things helped get me through the treatment and everything. It was like setting a goal, so I had something that to attain, because for me, I've always had like a goal with something I feel passionate about, and that keeps me happy. So I needed that goal, I needed that focus, and like me setting it to November, December was just when the show was in Liverpool at the Echo, and I was like, you know, part of me thinks I could go sooner than that, but that's a realistic goal for me. I know the surgeons and the hospital have said it's not, but I'll be in there November, December.